All right, well, everybody, it's 8 p.m., which I never thought I'd be streaming now, but I wanted to get a little bit more work done. And we started. Oh, I gotta take this off. Can't type with that on my wrist. And what is going on here? Oh, I changed the scene that we had. I wanted to make the whole build out the enchanter thing. Hey, Kevin. Hey, guest. Yeah, so late. Hey, Metal Eagle. I'm also kind of curious who's gonna be here now, because I was just hanging out in Fern's channel and I was commenting on the software and game dev category as a whole, I think. Yeah, it's down to 1.6K viewers. Hey, Casey. So yeah, I want to make it so that you unlock each enchanter crystal one at a time. And then I think there's one other thing I wanted to do. What else do we have? Oh, saving and loading. Okay, well, one of these is going to be okay. The other one, not so much. So right now we have all of the crystals unlocked. Hey, Paj. I watched your video on should I play that game. The game I forgot, the Spartan one. It was nice that the devs commented. I am curious if your prediction about the game's going to die in 2 years will come true. But hey, at least you had fun with what they had. Playing on 1,000 times difficulty. Yeah. So we need to show signs here. And we have the enchanter to begin with. So I guess we're going to do something sort of like how the vault works or how storage works. And just add the crystals one at a time. Okay. Let's take a look. There's add next item display. And there should be something about repositioning a sign. I don't know where that takes place. Oh, I remember now. The sign itself has that code. Storeroom sign. Yeah, here it is. Get cost of next upgrade. Reposition sign. All right, so we need the enchanter sign to know how to reposition itself. This frees itself when it gets built. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So there's a lot we're going to have to change here. And I don't remember how I did any of this stuff. I guess we show all of the crystals at once. Yeah. So we're going to have to hide some of these. Like so. So that when you build the enchanter, you only have this one. And just a bunch of blank space. Oh, there will be a sign there. All right, let's see what we got. So this is initialized. How does the vault work? We have an add next item display. Yeah, we want like an add next crystal here. Okay, so public void add next crystal. We'll also store a level in here. I think it's pretty reasonable. Excuse me. Public int level. Get private set. Should level start at 0 or 1? What's the storeroom start at? Current level is what's called here. Which I guess means it starts at 0. And every time you add a display, we add 1. Okay. Yeah, which actually means what we should probably do is not even start with this on. You know what? Now here's what I'm going to do. We're going to just start with all of them on and turn them off in code. What's this? Look who comes honking in here. Honking up a storm over there. Yeah, I figured I'd stream late. I wanted to get this done. I don't want this hanging over me. And I want to see what it's like streaming late at night. I've always thought about it, and I like the idea, but I never do it. And I think it's I don't know, whatever. Maybe I'll be productive. Maybe I won't. All right, so we're going to turn all of these things off. We have pots and crystals. So let's go through all of them. Pots dot, what's the for each on this? Is there a link for each? Let's put this over here. Link for each. Link equivalent of for each. I just want a map. And I think that's select. So I think we do pots.select p p.hide. Does that work or no? Type arguments cannot be inferred from the usage. Pots returns an enchanter pot. Enchanter pot is a node. Is it? It should be this. Okay, clearly I don't know what I'm doing right now. There's only one for list. Oh, there is a for each. There isn't though. Where does this come from? Huh. I recognize I could do this, but yeah, strange. Okay, well, whatever. Although this can't possibly be right. Haven't I done this in some other thing? Select item. Oh, I guess select returns a thing. So it's not a. And we don't have this here. We have first or default. Okay, fine. Well, whatever. Let's do it this way. Enchanter pot p in pots p dot hide. And then we want to do the same thing for crystals. For each enchanter crystal, guess I could call this pot and crystal. Good. All right, so everything's hidden. And now we want, when you unlock this, only to add one of these. Love the chat confusion. All right, level, I guess we'll call this current level. And every time we add a crystal, we'll figure out how many of these we should add. Am noob, but this is cool. Hey, Cetus. Welcome in. We are gonna make it so that you unlock these crystals in the game one at a time. Wow, that is loud. Thank you for subbing. I was working on some music earlier and I was playing it at a very high volume compared to my normal sounds. Yeah, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, unintentional jump scare. All right, so add next crystal. I guess we want to see, oh, you know what we could do? We could just get the crystal of the current level and set it to visible. Yeah, that'll work and that'll work. Cool. And then if the level is the maximum, then we hide the sign, I guess. Yeah. All right, next up, enchanter sign. And we need to reconcile this with this one. So reposition sign. This must be in the build dialog, right? Yes, on build. Instance queue free if storage reach max level. Perfect, 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 perfect. So this needs to know about the storeroom. The enchanter sign does not know about the den. And the den doesn't even exist. Oh, drat. Okay, yeah, this will only work if we keep track of this thing. I guess we have the town here, so we can store this off. We won't have a reference to this. All right, private. Oh no, we don't need to do this. We can store the town itself. Do we have that? Yes, we do. Wow, look at that. It's gonna chat chill. Make music in FL Studio and DJ. Let me know if you want to work. Wait. What's the O for? I read it as want to work, but anyway, I'm not totally sure what you're. If you want to work. Oh, I see. Okay, got you. No, totally fine. I just want to make sure I'm interpreting your message correctly. I am working on the music for the game that I'm making, and I might spend some time on this tonight, but I think mostly it'll be code. But I'm very much an amateur music creator. Despite having years of music experience. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to check when you build this, when you're in production but still learning. Ah, I see. I will take this time to gently nudge you that I have one real rule in chat, and it's to try to consolidate messages. But yeah, 10-year DJ. I think all the music experience you could have helps. I think performing, composing, just training your ear, improvising, all of that stuff, it all plays into the same general skills. I think the more of it you do, the better you'll get naturally. Then I think some sort of formal education probably helps too. And I like the stuff I make. It just takes me a very, very long time to make it. And I'm sure it could be better. It's like if I were to draw I don't know. If I were to draw for like a year, I'd probably get much better and then still realize that there's a huge gap between what other people can produce and what I can produce. I think a lot of it is just, are you happy with what you're doing and are you having fun? And I am having fun, but I think that people judge games pretty harshly based on really any aspect you can feel or see. So the visuals, the music, the gameplay, the balance, all that. All right, so we have create enchanter den. This is the very first time that we do this. So I guess let's do this. Instance on build, say build or level up. Yeah. And then make that function down here, private void build or level up. All right, so if this thing doesn't exist, town.enchanterden equals null, then create it. If it does exist, then level it up, which is not actually what that function is called. It is, where'd that go? Here. It's called add next crystal. I think it should just be called level up, maybe. No, I think it's fine. And then if it's reached max level, then delete the sign. Otherwise, reposition this thing. Reposition sign. Okay, so we need this. I don't know how I typed parentheses there. We need this function to exist, and we need reposition sign to exist. So this is simply, actually, this should be really easy. Yeah, there. if you have all of the pots. Very silly function. I mean, really, the way this should work is based on the crystals. Yeah. What is this saying? This is a property? Yeah. No, wait, what? A property should not follow a method. Oh, this is considered a method. Oh. I guess because I put parentheses on it, but I guess it would have worked if I'd made it a get thing. Okay, I'll just put this here. That's fine. And then, okay, reposition sign. We just need that now. So it's based on the level of the enchanter den. And it's going to be the position of the next sign, or the position of the next crystal. Public vector 2 get position of next crystal. There we go. And put this over here. And we just say position equals this. Sign needs to be the global position. Yeah. Town enchanter den dot that. Hey Jack, late night coding indeed. All right, let's try this out. We actually start with this thing built, and I don't think that's gonna work. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Because we need to do more than just create this thing. I guess when you call create, we need to also add the first sign, or add the first crystal. Yeah. Which means that this is not how any of this can work. I guess we reposition the sign regardless of whether we do this or not. Yeah. So we don't need an else there, and then this can create the first enchanter then create or add next crystal. Yeah. All right, so we should see one crystal. Yep. And we don't see the sign because I think we hide the sign, but I'm not sure where we do that. Create enchanter den. Huh, where do we hide this? Signs on enchanter sign. I don't know. Oh, it's hidden by default. Oh. So I guess whenever you do this, we should make sure that we show this thing. Okay, let's try that now. And then when it comes to saving and loading, this might not be too bad. Hey, what is this name? Let me see. I can't tell if those are I's or L's. I can't even select this. Oh, there we go. Ganilin or Ganilin. Welcome to the stream. Let me know if I pronounced that correctly. Not totally sure. All right. So cool. We have this build enchanters then. This is actually not going to say build. It's going to be like add crystal. And I guess we don't even want there to be a sign there. And we need this to change. So there's a lot of stuff that needs to be different here. And then we need to close that dialogue as well. And then it moved to a whole bunch of things were just wrong there. Yeah, like a lot of things. Oh man. All right, we got to fix a lot of that. So let's write all this down. Otherwise I'm going to forget. We want to get rid of build enchanters then from the sign. Because it's covering this up. Why is this not a problem with the warehouse, I wonder? What does this say? It says add storage, but isn't this a problem once you have something here? Yeah, it is. I don't think these should show up automatically then. Or maybe only show it on hover. Okay, well that was problem number one. Problem number two is that somehow we put this sign in the correct place, but then we put the next sign in the wrong place. Burn ended. Yeah, she was streaming for a while. All right, so change the text for the sign here. So there's that. Next is that you shouldn't be able to click through this dialogue. Prevent clicking through the dialogue to the enchanter because it spawns multiple dialogues. So if we click build and then close the build dialogue after choosing build. Yep, so many problems. And then it gets positioned there for some reason. And I don't get how that's happening because this thing just returns the position of the next crystal. Huh. Yeah, weird. Weird indeed. No, I know what's going on. Oh, I know what's happening. The sign is coincidentally right in the middle of where that thing needs to be. Oh, okay. I want it to be where the pot is, I think. Actually, I don't really care. But I need this to be positioned in the right spot, and it's not called when you build without using the sign. Okay, so these things should probably be related. Yeah, instead of this, we're gonna have to change this. Make sure the sign is positioned correctly after loading a save file. Nothing's gonna know how to do this. I wonder how the storage room knows this. How does the storage room, or how does a warehouse do this? Does it even do this? All right. So let's stop creating this thing and let's show the enchanter sign and let's see how that works. I think at least this will fix the positioning problem that we have. Good. We need to close that still, but now it's there and now it's there. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Honestly, that wasn't too bad. We just need to fix all these things now. So get rid of build enchanters then from the sign. I think we might need to change all signs so that they can only show on hover sometimes. Signpost. We don't have a hover thing, do we? But we have a clickable area. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna add a new thing here and say public bool only show, what is this called? Only show label on hover. Yeah, get set. And when you set this thing, we'll keep track of whether the mouse is over and show the label then. We don't actually need to keep track of it because we have the visibility of the label. But I guess when you set this thing, it can't just be setting a variable. We need to also hide it if you've set this thing to true. Yeah, that's the only way this can work. Which means I guess we need a backing variable for this. Private bool only show label on hover. Yeah. And when you set this, if only show on hover, hide. And then you need to hover over. Yeah. Okay. And this will be only show label on hover. Perfect. Yep, perfect. And then we need two more things over here. Does this ever remove its input event? It's a signpost. It should. It doesn't. Oh, we'll get there. Signpost. Yeah, there's no dispose here. Oh, hang on a second. My wife is calling. Give me 1 sec. Okay, sorry about that, chat. I know no one's actively paying attention right now anyway, so it makes no difference. But I still want to have a professional air about the stream. Okay, so we had a problem with this last. Oh wait, no, we don't need this because these are Godot events. Ah, I keep forgetting that. Clickable area dot mouse entered plus equal mouse entered and mouse exited. Go generate both of these. Put them at the bottom of the file. And if, oh, perfect. Yep, that's exactly what I want. Great. Yeah, we could do this all the time, actually. But yeah, that sounds good. Not paying attention? I don't know if you're just thinking about programmer socks over there. Whatever that means. Never actually found out what that means. All right, so once you've built the Enchanter's Den, this sign should have show label on hover set to true. Actually, whenever you call this function, it should be set to true. Then also we need to close this dialog. There is a close dialog function. I have no idea what that does. Apparently something in the signpost, so I guess that's fine. And then update text. Yeah, I need that too. So close dialog and update text. And the text update needs to be done based on this. All right. The tall socks make you code better. You know, there might actually be some truth to this somehow about blood flow. Did you hear programming socks? Yes. They're socks with little microcontrollers in them. All right, so we know you must have the Enchanter Den. So we're gonna get the current level. Current level. Actually, we need to know the order of the crystals that you build. So string, what do we call this? Set text. I guess it's just one of two things. If the level is 1, the next thing is going to be build, or maybe like add armor crystal. How is this going to work though? It's not going to have the right description. Well, it's just label.text. Where's the description? Oh, it's inside the dialogue. Oh, no, never mind. This is fine then. Yeah. So it's just add armor crystal or it's add weapon crystal. All right, cool. Then call set text on that. Yeah. All right, so we fixed everything from this. Change the text for the sign here. That part is not done yet. We have spawn dialogue. This needs to have different text depending on the level of the enchanter den. Okay. So let's do this then. Current level equals this question mark current level, otherwise 0. And I guess title equals current level switch. So 0 is that. Yep. Great. And then the description. All right, enchant your adventurers using items. Allows for disenchanting armor items. And 2 is allows for disenchanting weapons. Yeah. Then we delete this stuff and we say title description. And yeah. Now what's that complaining about? Throw new argument on a range exception. Scenario. Unrecognized current level. Yeah. All right, now it shouldn't complain about that anymore. I'm gonna put that down here too. All of the first one throws, then the second one can't throw because it can never be reachable. Have a crab pattern. They're rust socks. All right, let's see. All right, so build enchanter's den. Enchant your adventurers using items. Maybe disenchant items to help your adventurers. Disenchant items to help your adventurers. I think I like that better. But ignoring that, we click build, and now it did not close. That's strange. We have a call to close dialog there. Does that not work? Has spawned equals false label.show. It doesn't actually close the dialog. It's dialog to unclose. Close and queue free. Maybe we're not spawning dialogues the right way. Spawn dialog. This is instance on build. This won't work. It's got to be one of these. Yeah. It's just calling what's in signpost though. Queue free the instance. Oh, that must be what I'm missing. Yeah, that is what I'm missing. This can't work then. Nothing's gonna ever remove this. Unless I made this a proper, no, I didn't. I need to make this a Godot signal. Otherwise, I don't know how we're gonna do this. Something needs to dispose of this at the end. Okay, well, let's write that down in the cleanup section. Something needs to dispose of the, what is it? The instance.onBuild listener that shows up for every dialogue. Yeah, we could have like a set on build that takes in a lambda and stores it. Could be a set on build that takes in a callback and stores it. We could also use a Godot signal, which will automatically disconnect. I won't worry about this for right now, but what we need to do is be able to call this and instance IQ free. So actually, the closed dialog part doesn't really matter, does it? Because that should have already been called. Spawn dialog. I don't know. We do it in the other class. I'm just going to try this. And we'll see if this looks good. Okay, so build enchanter's den. Disenchant items to help your adventurers. We choose maybe later. Everything's fine. We click build. And now we have the wrong sign text. And also the tooltip is going to show for this entire area. So we probably need to fix that too. Expand the clickable area based on how many crystals you have. All right, but anyway, we click that. Add armor crystal, allows for disenchanting armor items. Build that, and then add weapon crystal. Oh, nice. And now it only shows when you hover the sign over that. We got to use that on the other signs. Make sure the warehouse and vault signs have only show label on hover set to true after you've built each building. Yeah. Neat. I like that. Should probably fade in, maybe. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. All right. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's no way to close that in the background there. All right. So we build that, and now we have the weapon crystal. And now we can use these as we were able to use them before, right? Yeah. Perfect. Now, another thing we could do is not show you all of the enchantments, but once you've built the first crystal, it's obvious there's a second crystal, and it's pretty apparent there's going to be a third crystal because there are 3 types of items in the game. So I think it's okay to just say no armor buff, no weapon buff, and you know what you have to look forward to there. I think that actually helps. So I'm not concerned about that. So change the text of the sign. We've done this part. This is fine, but we haven't changed the text of... Oh, I know why. Because we start with a built... No, we don't. Never mind. I don't know why that's happening. Why does it say build enchanters then? Because what, the current level hasn't been updated yet? Add next crystal updates it. If it's 1, we say add armor crystal. Otherwise, it's add weapon crystal. What is the problem then? Oh, create enchanter den. That's why. We need to update the text regardless. Okay. Yeah, that'll fix it. All right, this isn't too bad. I think the saving and loading is going to be a little bit harder. We're not done with this anyway. I still have some other tasks I need to do here. All right, so build enchanters den, build that. Then it says add armor crystal. I don't think it hid the label on that correctly though. But it also might not have known that we stopped hovering over it because the node moved out from under it. So if I click build over here, yeah, it's showing the label and shouldn't be. And if I hover over it and let go, it hides it. So why is that happening? Only show on hover equals true. As soon as we set this, if true, then label.hide. What am I missing? Nothing shows that label, right? Oh, closed dialog shows it. Okay, well, fine. This is an ordering problem. Done. Problem solved. By the way, Costco is nuts. I went and got my groceries. And the line was like 4 deep. All right, pretty cool. It's working correctly now. Yeah, pretty nice. Did I find toilet paper? I actually did. So I was far enough away from where that was because I didn't actually need it. And I think there was toilet paper, but it didn't look like there was as much as normal. I did not need to buy any. I got lots of food though. I got 2 bags of apples. Love apples. Prevent clicking through the dialogue to the enchanter. I'm surprised this is a problem because this is a problem for everything that means. Like if I click this, then I can click items behind it. Yeah, I can't. That was not intentional. I actually, you know what it might have been? It might have been that you can still drag the camera even if you're using a dialogue. But yeah, I think this is just a mistake. Also, I think most dialogues should probably be in screen space so that you don't zoom in on them like this. Hey, Devnell. What kind of apples? I got both were Fuji apples, which according to applerankings.com is not a great apple, I'm pretty sure. 56, barely worth it. Yet another demon spawn of the Red Delicious. There's gravity choking hazard named after Fujisaki City. J-pop star of an apple pit with a ravenous fan base. There's a new apple I'd never heard of that I tried the other day. That's actually pink inside. I forgot what it's called though. Oh, I think it was this Lucy Rose. Lucy Rose apple. Is anyone like me and has just never seen these things? Like, look at this. I had no idea apples could be pink inside. It was actually pretty tasty, which is why I don't trust applerankings.com. But I go there for the humor. Yeah. What is this about Apple rankings? A comedian made a site called applerankings.com. And it's got some language on it, so that's why I'm not showing the whole thing here. But yeah, they list all of the apples, and yeah, like this one, a putrid corpse. There's it's just mostly for fun. I want a pink apple. Yeah. Did I get them? I guess you got them because they were affordable. No, I just like Fuji apples. I think I don't like the more sort of tart or sour apples. So Honeycrisp are good, Fuji are good. Those whatever ones, Lucy Rose or something, are pretty good. Should we put this in screen space? I kind of want to try it. Try putting the dialogues in screen space or building. And maybe only allow one to be open at a time. That's a totally different task though. I think for something like this, I could make it block mouse events. I just don't think that's a good idea. And the only reason we even need to do this is because there's an NPC right there. So if I click here and I set a block mouse events to true, then you wouldn't be able to drag from here, which if you're fully zoomed in means you can't use the mouse. This is why this is a problem. Exactly this reason. You're fully zoomed in and now you can't click the background anymore. You could use the arrow keys, but like, are you gonna know to do that? And I guess as long as you can see the maybe later button, you could just close this dialogue. But yeah, this is what we did earlier. We made this tooltip show up in screen space. So regardless of your zoom level, it's always gonna be in the same spot and it's always gonna be legible. I feel like we should probably do that with even these. Like, why let you have multiple open at once? Just not a good idea. And then this happens, which is a mess. But that's a task for a little later, I think. So I'm not going to do anything about that now. Close the build dialog. We've done that. Expand the clickable area based on how many crystals you have. I'll do that in a separate commit. Make sure the sign is positioned correctly after loading a save file. That's something we got to do in the next task entirely, which I somehow closed. Put that here. How does a warehouse do this? And this was supposed to be italicized. Do you want the user to be able to dismiss by opening a different one? I'm trying to think if we have any case like that in the game. We might. Yeah. Make sure you can't dismiss a crucial dialogue by opening another one. Hey, Sean. I assume you pronounce your name Sean. I've never actually seen that spelling. So please let me know if I'm wrong. Make sure the warehouse and vault signs have this set to true after you built it. Yep. Okay, so I think we can check in right now. And I think we can work on those other tasks in separate commits. One other thing I want to look at though, skip tutorial. So we have this code, create enchanter den. And I wrote remove after finishing work on the enchanter. This is certainly true. I should remove this. I'll write this down here. Remove the enchanter code in town. I assume you have it by default. I guess as long as the save and load code is fine, then I'm pretty happy with this. So let's try this one more time. I just want to make sure everything's good. So we have this build enchanters den. You click build. It should subtract 500. It does. Now the sign text doesn't show until you hover over this. Then you click it, and unfortunately it still shows up beneath it, but that's okay. You build this, it should cost 500, good. And you build the last one. So if we were to just drag this over here, it tells you your enchantments, and it just says no weapon enchantment. You don't even have the weapon crystal yet. But when you build the weapon crystal, I don't have any weapons. Well, now we have weapons. Yeah, nice. It's all working. Okay. Do you, I think there's a verb missing there. Do you a page detailing your configure setup for VS Code? Or do I have a page? I don't have one. I have a video for some of the extensions that I like that people don't necessarily know. I'm not playing a game, Sean. I'm actually making one, and it's called Skeleseller. You can find out more there. Yeah, so the extensions I talk about in that video, I'm happy to share any other ones that I have if you're curious. Ooh, that's not good. That's definitely not good. I think I know what's happening here. But yeah, we need to fix this bug too. It's a good thing I actually looked at this. Copy all, fix that. And then as far as key mappings and stuff, I feel like those are pretty personal. Not as in I'm not willing to share them, but as in I don't mind sharing them. I just don't think they'd probably do much good. Especially because I have a totally wonky keyboard compared to most people. Is there a reason you use Visual Studio Code over Visual Studio? Yeah, Visual Studio is no longer supported on Mac. But that's actually not the reason why. I prefer Visual Studio Code because it's much lighter weight. But at this point, yeah, even if I wanted to use Visual Studio, I'd have to use some out of support version for it. All right, so get position of next crystal is happening on the Enchanter Den. What's going on here? Here, line 106. Current level, get position of next crystal. Why do we even call this? Reposition sign is getting called regardless of whether we're at the max level, that's why. Enchanter sign. Ever heard of Terraria? Yeah, I've heard of Terraria. I love Terraria. I think it's a great game. So this should only be done if we're not at the maximum level. If town.enchanterden has reached max level, then just return. It's probably just easier to write it like this. In fact, don't we already have something that checks this? Yeah, but we have this. We could put this here. And then put an else here, and then get rid of this condition altogether. And that should fix it. Grinding hard. Hey, Matt. Yeah, I wanted to put in some more time. Actually, my parents are going to be visiting in a couple of weeks, or yeah, like actually 9 days now that I think about it. And on that week, I'm not going to work on Tuesday and Thursday probably. So I'm trying to make up some of that time ahead of time. And I wanted to try streaming, and my wife is away right now. Is your keyboard home built? Yeah. I have a video on that somewhere. Adam13531 keyboard. Yeah, this talks a little bit more about it. It's probably not that interesting. Maybe they dropped VS for Mac after the major upgrade they made. Maybe it was the kind of thing where for compliance inside their own org, they had to make the upgrade. But then upper level is just like, why are we even supporting this? I don't want to spend those resources again. Nice that my parents are coming. Yeah, I don't think they've been here for a couple of years now. I haven't ever shared where I'm from, but it's not Washington State, and I live in Washington State now. All right, so we just build these three things, and it should not error. Perfect. Let's go check it in. We got rid of all the extra gunk in the map, too. Which should really be its own commit. No, it shouldn't be, because I also condensed the map. So I guess they're related. This, you know what, I don't care. Let's just make this a property. What do I care? Only problem is it's got to be in the right position now. There we go. All right, looks good. Looks good. This is kind of silly because this is assumed that we're doing it in the order of armor and then weapon, although that is how this works. But it's an assumption. Dereference of a possibly null value. This is now no longer possible because if it didn't exist, it'll get created here. Dereference a possibly null value. Oh, that's just need to rebuild, I guess. Yeah, sure, 4-wheel. It probably, I'm guessing their market share is very low. Error does not contain a definition for, oh my God, it doesn't change this. Where'd that go? What is it now? Just position of next crystal? It should have been able to fix that on its own. Well, let's try running this again. Yeah, I think for something like Bing compared to Google, I think Microsoft is willing to fight that fight because there's such a crazy amount of money in search, when, well, more specifically in advertising, I guess. But with Visual Studio, maybe they think, oh, VS Code is already super popular. Yeah, maybe we can't compete with Rider or something like that. I'm not sure what it is. Okay, this is working. We're gonna look through it one more time. Every time we make a change, got to make sure we've reviewed all of what we're doing here. Don't want to leave any gauze in the patient, so to speak. This is looking good. Yeah. I could also keep this checked in. Yeah, I think let's get rid of that because we're going to delete it eventually anyway. And then the only other thing I still want to do is just add one comment, and it is to signpost. I think this is obvious enough, but if true, I think the AI can do this. Yeah, hovering over the clickable area. Perfect. Ton more momentum doesn't mean another IDE to keep parity with. Yeah. Visual Studio for work, VS Code for everything else. Yeah, I think if I were to switch to Rider, I'd probably feel like it's a big upgrade. There are a couple little barriers to that, and one of them is the learning curve of a new IDE and setting it up, and like there are probably extensions that I'm used to now that I wouldn't be able to use anymore. And even simple stuff like multiplying numbers 45 times 16. It's like I have an extension that'll evaluate that. I'm very used to this. I've invested a lot in VS Code, I guess. And that was one example, but there are lots and lots of things that I do that are very comfortable to me in VS Code. And the other thing is the price. I could probably get it for free by emailing them, but I would need to email them. Yeah. Yeah, and DevNull, if you want me to share my key mappings with you, feel free to ping me on Discord. More people are watching, that's good. On YouTube? But I mostly interact on Twitch. YouTube usually has like 2 viewers. So, kind of funny. Okay, so allow unlocking a crystal at a time. I should say 1 crystal at a time. You no longer get all 3 crystals at once when you build the enchanter. Although all the crystals are the same cost, that's something we should probably fix. Although that's not super important. We could actually even write that in cleanup. Allow for differently priced enchanter crystals. If you can afford the first one, then affording the next one is probably also going to be pretty easy. So we should probably raise the price. Got a unique workflow there. Yeah. Yeah, also I've customized a lot of the VS Code hotkeys. So there's going to be something where I try it and it's like, oh, that's already a hotkey, and the hotkey in Rider makes sense and is used all over the place. And there are lots of little problems like that. Like even in VS Code, there's context for hotkeys. So if I have the find dialog open, these shortcuts are different from the ones where if I have this dialog open. And that's actually not desirable, but it just shows that it's possible. And Rider has a bunch of those by default. At least I assume so because I've used other JetBrains IDEs where they have that same contextual hotkey mapping, and you need to figure out that these things need to work in this context, but not in this context. And there's just a lot of it would take a long time, I think. get a bunch of Android Studio experience at Google. Doesn't that translate a bit to writer? Yeah. I'm familiar enough with their IDE, and and I think that would help. But then again, I didn't transfer my settings from Google. The only things I could take out of Google were things that were basically public knowledge. So for example, I took notes on Go. Go is just a public language, so the notes are fine. But anything internal, all that stuff I had to leave there, which is a shame because I would have liked some of those things. I agree, it's VS Code super lightweight and fast. Visual Studio can be sluggish. Yeah, and I think it can make up for it a little bit in some of the refactoring it can do automatically. Yeah, the debugger is almost certainly better. This struggles with some things, and it doesn't have a profiler. But I guess it doesn't really matter at this point. I feel like the options are VS Code and Rider, and that's kind of it. I'm not going to switch to Windows just for Visual Studio proper. All right, what else? So this is just a later task. I guess that's not even important. This I want to do. This I want to do. Yeah. And then I want to do the saving and loading stuff. Shooting on Twitch and YouTube. Yeah, Twitch, YouTube, and Steam all at once. Just piping that all from OBS to all the websites. Okay, clickable area needs to expand. This is usually easy to do, except the problem is that the clickable area, when I expand it, it expands in... Oh, it doesn't expand in both directions. What? Can you change it? I didn't think that was possible. Huh. So I can just set the width on this. No, the position is changing. Oh, I see. Yeah. All right. It's because I'm dragging it from the right side. If I were dragging it from the left side, no, that doesn't do it either. I don't know, but either way, the middle is changing. Is there a way to anchor this differently? I don't think so. Wait, of course the center would change. What am I talking about? But that's where the position is. Yeah, I want to anchor it at the other. What happened here? I can't click anymore. I think it said I got the map on this thing. Can we do it here? I don't think so. I'm gonna look this up really fast. How many people watch on Twitch? I don't know. I have chat open, but I don't ever look at the view count. I don't have it showing because I find it's better not to know. Every time I just streaming to Steam, I chuckle. I do think it's funny. It's just like a casual thing I want to mention every once in a while. All right, let's see if this is possible. It doesn't really matter if it's possible or not. I can find a way to do it. But collision, shape, 2D, Godot, anchor. Change anchor. How to anchor collision shape. Is there a way to change the anchor point of kinematic body? Rotation point for the sprite. It doesn't matter. Any plans to stream to Twitter? No. I suspect streaming to any platform is probably not helpful in itself right now, unless there are eyes there. I don't think there are eyes on software development streams. Here's my take. If you're just streaming and you're doing software development, you'll hit a ceiling that is like way lower than what your actual ceiling could be. And the only way to get that ceiling to sort of break is to pull people in through other forms. And typically what that means is YouTube videos, YouTube shorts, TikTok. It's like, where are the eyes on this content? And that content that you're pulling them in with is probably very different from the programming content. So this is going to be something like my thoughts on whatever, some technology, or I don't know, reacting to some controversy in the Godot space or something like that. It's very different content. And I need to put effort into that instead of the game so that I could grow. And it's just not important to me. Facebook gaming actually gets some numbers, funny enough. I think there are a lot of people on Facebook. I don't know about software dev on Facebook. Yeah, to be engagement posting it. Yeah. I mean, it's even YouTube. It's like YouTube has a crazy amount of viewers, but what is live software development on YouTube? How do you even find it? Like, I don't seek that out. I don't know what it is. And as evidenced by viewer numbers over this amount of time, I don't think people really like stick to the stream on YouTube. Again, it's all fine. This is not a complaint. I am trying to make a game right now. I'm not trying to grow a stream or get like tons of subscribers or something like that. And if that ever changes, then I'll do the steps I need to take for that to work. So if we can't change this, by the way, then we need to change this over here. So I'm going to change just the size and see what happens. But in order for this to work, we need to make visible collision shapes. And then we should probably change the color of this to something different. So how about we just make it pink for now? And then try changing the size through code. So we're going to do this. We're going to make this unique. Collision shape 2D. And then I'm going to try doing this directly from the town and just reach my greedy hand directly into the enchanter den. So how do we do this? Enchanter den. I guess let's do it this way. If it's not equal to null, then enchanter den dot get node collision shape 2D. This, and we want to change, what is this? The shape? The size? Is there size? Shape? Shape dot size? No, you can't do that because it's got to be a rectangular shape. Yeah. Oh man. Okay, this is gonna be ugly. So we do this and then set the size dot width. No, size dot x equals. Let's just add 50, which we can't even do. Not a variable. Okay, well, this is fun. All right, so let's just call this shape and then get that. Then do shape.size equals new vector 2, shape.size.x plus 10, and shape.size.y plus nothing. Okay, let's try that out. No idea how to find live streams on YouTube other than from people I already know. Yeah, and there might be a way. It's like Steam doesn't have any discoverability on that front, really. I think video devlogs do decent on YouTube. I just released one. Honestly, my videos haven't been doing very well. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the... Stop talking. Yeah, this has 273 views. And I think I need to change the thumbnail. And even then, I think... I don't know. I need to do something different. Also, I got this comment, hope it'll be free, which I appreciate that people are engaging this, but I'm not sure if it's a reasonable expectation. Oh, maybe what they were hoping is it's free to play, as in you could spend money if you like the game, but play it for free. Yeah. Okay. Well, what's kind of biasing me is Steam has two different categories, free and free to play. And free means totally free, no purchases whatsoever. And free to play means it's $0, but then microtransactions. Or macro transactions, but some kind of transactions. Yeah, now that I've kind of recontextualized their comment, they probably meant this, that they wanted it to be free to play. And a lot of idle games are, but I think they're kind of scummy, the ones that are. I don't care about this. Okay, so let's try this out. So we're gonna this isn't gonna work, is it? No, because I'm not launching from Godot. Tisk, tisk, tisk. We can't see this giant pink shape unless we launch from Godot. All right, so there. Every time I press T, this should expand by 10 pixels. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. I don't want to expand on the left. I want it to expand only on the right, which means we also need to move its position, which kind of sucks. How do we do that? It's just the collision shape 2D that we need to get. All right, all right. Position plus equal, I guess 5. I guess new vector 2, 5. And that will move it by, it'll essentially extend it by 10 pixels to the side. Yeah. Oh yeah, we can't launch through here. Ugh. I'll remember. All right, so we click this, Now every time I press this, yeah, it's expanding outward. So what I'm doing this for is that we want this clickable area to encompass only the crystals you've unlocked. So when you first unlock this, it's that big. And then let's save this. How much does this need to expand every time? It should be just 2 tiles worth. Yeah. Should be 2 tiles worth. Let's put this maybe here. There. And then we'll just see if it works. Not expected to grow equally at all. If you reduce the size, does it also stay centered? Yes, I think so. I'm not going to test it only because this is how it works. Never mind. Yeah, I'm gonna just continue with this. Let's see. So float width to expand equals 10. So this is gonna be width to expand divided by 2. Yeah, I don't think you can anchor these things, but it's possible. And this should be game constants tile size times 2. So let's see if this looks good. It might not be. And then we need to move this code to the right spot, and then we're good. So this isn't like a crazy amount of work. I did it again. I launched it from the wrong thing. Close. Whoops. I accidentally launched some sort of catchy music program. I might actually work on music tonight. Okay, so if I buy the crystal and then I press T, that's still pretty good. Yeah. I buy the next crystal and I press T. And now we get some overlap with the NPC, but in general, I think that's nice. Yeah, I think that's good. Hey, yo. Yo, it's early for you, right? You're like, what's Adam doing online? All right, so now we need to move this all into the Enchanter Den. 7 a.m., bright and early, watching programming, presumably from bed. All right, so add next crystal. Where is add next crystal? Here it is. And we're going to expand this thing. This is super tedious. We need the collision shape and we need its shape. So let's get the collision shape first. Yeah. Private collision shape 2D, collision shape 2D, got it. Go into ready, get that. Oh, that should be a collision shape 2D. Good, so now we can delete this and this. And then getting the shape of this is something that we could also cache, but probably doesn't matter to cache because we're only calling add next crystal a maximum of 2 times. So I'm not concerned about that. All right, how's this look? Position plus equal width to expand. Yep. Cool. Yeah, nice. I like this. We should probably make this its own function. Like expand collision shape. And use your laptop start watching. Yeah. Well, thanks, yo. All right, does this know the code I want? It does. I never really totally trust that this got this exactly right, but I just searched and it's exactly the same code. So that's totally fine. And now we should be able to call expand collision shape. Perfect. Now let's try it out, this time intentionally from VS Code. We'll reset this so it doesn't cause a change. We'll change that, save that, and launch it. So you build this and you should only, wait, why can you hover over here? Oh, it expands even when you build the first crystal. Oh, man. Fine, let's turn that back on. Visible collision shapes, set this back to pink. And shrink this down to nothing. I don't know if this is going to be considered an error. It's a collision shape of width 0. Messing my train of thought to have shadow text constantly popping up. Yeah, I remember you mentioning this on Discord. Do you like it in general, though, when you are toggling it yourself? All right, this might be an issue. We wanted this to be positioned, we want it to grow by 32 pixels every time. So that means we need to position this at exactly 8 pixels less than the crystal. What's the crystal at? Crystal is at 24, but it's the center that's at 24. So it's actually at 16. So we need this to be at 8. Oh, drat. The shape is... Oh, whatever. This should be at 8. Well, its total position should be at 8. So if I do this and then run this, garbage solution sometimes it's faster. It is very good for boilerplate. I really like it for just smart autocomplete. I think it's really good for that. Okay, this is perfect. Yeah, and then I add the next crystal, looks perfect. I add the next crystal, looks perfect. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna try this without seeing the shapes. Oh, it's already attached. And see if it feels right. So we build this for the first time, and if we drag a potion onto here and then hover somewhere in this area, yeah, I think mostly you'd point like at one of these things, and it works for that for sure. So this is good. You add the next crystal, and now you can point at any part of this, and if we drag an armor onto here, all right, that's a bug. I never wrote that bug down, did I? Dragging an armor makes you mess up. Did I write that down? I didn't write that down. Maybe I forgot. Dragging an item to an enchanter pot causes the enchant tooltip to go away because yeah, I don't know about the because. Also, we did this already. We also did this. Spicy autocomplete. All right, now we drag a weapon onto here. Yeah, nice. I like it. Well, thank you, Matt. Some of these things, you know, they can sound good on paper, but then when people are actually playing the game, maybe it actually feels worse. So an easy way to make this feel bad is kind of what you see on screen right now. It says grant all adventurers 1 power. 1 power is not a lot. And if you felt like you had to do this every minute just to get 1 power, you'd be like, this is not even worth clicking. So I think if we have some interesting buffs and there's enough power difference by using them, I think it'll be good. I think also, just from a game design perspective, this entire system should maybe give you roughly 15% more effectiveness at something. Maybe power, maybe speed, maybe damage mitigation. I don't know. Just like roughly that level of benefit. So if you're there and you're playing, then cool, you get roughly a 15% boost. And if you're not there, then yeah, you can still make do without that. Enchanter auto buffer. Actually, I guess that could be a skill. Like you could get a player skill that said something like every minute, if your crystals are unused, like X% chance to just produce a buff out of nowhere. This would be benefiting idle players. I don't think I want to do this, but I hadn't thought of an idea like that until just now. Yeah, it's really only for idle players. And it's, yeah, I don't think I like this. I don't think I'm gonna even write it down. All right, so what do we do? We increase the size of the collision shape now. Yep. And then what's all this garbage? This can all be deleted, right? Give the enchanter an employee he can hire for X time, so it's not permanent. Well, okay, so there are 2 parts to this. One is if you're idle, these things are going unused. And 2 is that it could do so without actually even taking an item. Because if you're active, what I'm doing here is I'm basically spending 24 gold on a buff. Because I could have just sold this sword, but instead I put it here. So I was thinking for idle players, it could be a way of just kind of cutting out both of those things, both the action and the cost. Also, this is, I mean, currently this is sort of floating in the world, but it's explicitly not got any paths going to it. So workers can't make it here. And it's the same thing with the vault, although the vault is a different purpose. It's intentionally supposed to be storage only you can access. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you saw this from earlier, but we added tooltips for the items. So now you can see what the items are. We can add flavor text, and you can see what the enchant effect will be before you enchant. Yeah. Everything's coming along. All right, yeah, I am happy with this. So expand enchanter clickable area as you unlock crystals. This way, it doesn't have a massive area for showing a tooltip when you only have 1 to 2 crystals. It's a really nice big green potion. I know. It's a cool looking breastplate. A fancy fiery sword. We could just randomize what they say completely. Okay, so this part's done. This stuff, I kind of want to go do right now. How do we do this? Storeroom sign. We need to know if you've built the storeroom or if you're getting... Oh, interesting here. Yeah. So set text and then what is this called? Update level, upgrade, update text. Update text. Is update text called originally? Yes, it is. Good. Okay, cool. So then here we're going to say, what's the property called? Show label on hover. Yeah, equals true. Okay, so that's the storerooms. Oh, that should actually control them both. Let's try it out. Let's try it out. A one-line change. This should be a nice little usability thing, though. So it's not working there, but we don't save and load this correctly. So I guess that's why it's not loading or not working. But I click build here. Yeah, the sign no longer shows text until you hover over it. So that's how the warehouse should work. can't stop this guy from selling Skelas. How you doing? Have I ever actually pronounced your name? Yeah, how do you pronounce your name? I want to write this down. I don't think I've ever actually said your name. Oakleus. Perfect. Thank you. And in keeping with the same consistency, there we go. I will say Oakleus. In fact, I'll even write a little note. Oakleus. There. That note seemed to do nothing. What just happened? Huh, weird. Maybe if I refresh the page. Now you're, oh, there it is. Haha, Oakleus. It's right there in chat now. Yeah, every time I'm about to say Matt's name, I need to consult my pronunciations. Yeah, so the warehouse thing, we got to make it so that when you save and load this stuff, I'll just put this in the mega issue. This is going to be annoying to tackle. Saving and loading a storeroom should set only show label on hover correctly. But you shouldn't start with a storeroom. So let's search for the number 64 and delete all of that. Hey, Shogi. Yeah, I happened to, went to my dashboard in order to set the title of the stream. And I was like, oh, Shogi followed. So welcome in. Have you worked on save and load games yet? I have done a decent amount with it already in the game. It's just that not all of it's working. So for example, let's say we were to put 4 points into this or something, whatever, 3 and 2. And then I click save and I click load. It will get loaded in correctly. And it will even know which adventurers you have unlocked and how much money you have and a lot of other things. But there are some glaring flaws that just weren't important to fix. And what I should have done is I should have just disabled both of these buttons. But instead I didn't, and people clicked them and then got into really bad states in the game. Yeah, there is a save file you can manipulate. And if you want to find out where it's located, here are the paths. Okay, so I launched that because I was testing something and then didn't test the thing. Hey, Raimu. Late night stream indeed. All right, so as soon as we build this, this sign text should go away. Perfect. And now when you hover over it, you can see it says add storage. So the reason I did this is because when you have an item here, I don't want that text to cover the item, but when you're hovering over it, it's totally fine if it does. I'm fine with this. Yeah. Yeah, the save file is also just total plain text. So you can very easily manipulate it. I only ask one thing, and that's that you don't pass off screenshots as being legitimate if they're not legitimate. That's all. Feel free to tinker with your save file all you want. But it would make it very confusing if people tinkered with it and they're like, oh, hey, I got in this state and caused a bug or something like that. Oh, and the other warning is you will find bugs. I know there are bugs with saving and loading, and they're very easy to spot. You can build multiples of each shop. It's definitely not great. Okay, so what have we done? We got this working. Yeah, that's all. Set only. I'll just say only show. I'll just say this. Set this on the storerooms. I don't think we can fit this in 50 characters. Oh, we can. Okay. Yeah. The sign text could cover items that would show in the storerooms. Okay, perfect. So that task is done. Prevent clicking through the dialogue. This is just a totally different thing we got to do. This is actually part of a bigger problem, which is that dialogue shouldn't be in world space. At least not from the signs. We should probably make it so that they take up the whole screen. Oh, you know what? We got some great graphics from Quickie Joe, and one of them is, well, it kind of looks like a sign. And we also got these, like a paper one, and like that's more of a scroll. This is more of a sheet of paper. So we have a bunch of different things we could use for this. These are 9-patch racks, so they can expand to whatever size is needed. So we could do something like this and show a large dialogue. It wouldn't make sense on a signpost, I guess, but maybe I could ask for a specific, like a signpost looking thing. Excuse me. And we can even draw out of the bottom of it the sign. I think that would be a really good idea. Yeah, I should write this down. Ask Quickie Joe for a sign 9-patch racked and the post that we can put at the bottom of it. And yeah, only allow one to be open at a time. Yeah, so this is a task that is for some other day. Let's just put this down here. I think this needs to be done in checkpoint 4. Checkpoint number 4. If we can swing it, I don't think we can. All right, what remains? Just this. Save and load the enchanter. I don't want to do this. It's why it's the last task on this list. Also, just in terms of prioritization, it makes sense it's the last task so that you're saving and loading everything you've done. Hey, Coffee. Yeah, I'm never really on this late. I've been very consistent with my stream schedule, and then it's almost always starting at like 9 a.m. my time and then at about 1 a.m. or 1 p.m., excuse me. And this time we started about 8 p.m. I don't even remember the last time I've ever streamed this late. I streamed almost always on exactly the same schedule, which was I think like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. And it was roughly like 9 to 4 or something like that, 9 to 5, I don't remember. And I think I tried one time, like, or 2 times or something, doing an evening stream. And then every once in a while we had a Saturday stream for a Minecraft event or something. When did I start streaming this time? This is a one-off. This is not a common thing. So I happen to have some time. I'm going to be taking a couple of days off in about a week and a half. And I want to make sure that I'm doing everything I can to make sure that checkpoint number 4 is good. So that's why I'm streaming right now. All right, so saving and loading. This is not simple. but hopefully it's not terrible. So we have storeroom, vault, shop data. We need the enchanter here somewhere. Public enchanter save data, enchanter save data, and the usual get set, whatever. All right, now we need to go create this. So let's go into this thing and save this as this. Save that there. We want the level, and we want... Actually, that's it. We could save which buffs you have, but what if we just didn't? Oh, yeah, what if we didn't? Save and load enchanter buffs that were active on the crystal. I'm not doing that. Can't drink morning coffee while watching you stream in the future. Wait, I'm in the past. Oh, never mind. I thought you were making a time travel joke, but you're not. You're speaking regular English and my brain is fried. Someone asked me 2 days ago, what's your favorite class? I got really pensive and I'm like, I don't know. What code have I written that I like the best? And they were asking, what's my favorite class in the game? As in like the rogue, the mage. I just completely did not interpret that correctly the first time. All right, so all we're going to do is save level here, which makes this dead simple. We have the enchanter save data. We need to now form this properly. Save. Oh, let's do it the same way the storeroom does it, which is just having a save data here. Yeah. And I like feel my eyes twitching. That's probably not good. Enchanter. I mean, that's definitely not good. I know that's not good. I probably shouldn't be online right now. I think I want to do a little bit of music stuff, though. I think it'd be fun. And I never stream this late anyway, so might as well try it. Why is Enchanter save data not here? Well, now it is. All right, so that's it. We just call it a day like that. Public members should come before private members. All right, next up, town. Go fetch this. And if we don't have any, then don't load anything. We don't have a precedent for this, do we? No, we don't. I wonder if we could say this is null. Can we? No. All right, well, we're going to have to make it be null. Nullable. Because otherwise, I mean, you might not have an enchanter den. So this equals enchanter den question mark save data question mark null. Yeah, we could just store that as level 0, although that's going to cause problems in the future because, well, level 0 means you have it unlocked, actually. It had to be level -1. Anyway, let's see. So now load from JSON. We need to create... Okay, this is what sucks about this. Yeah. Oh, wow, look at that. Look at that indeed. Good job, AI. All right, this has to go somewhere up here. All right, so I set the level and then add crystals equal to... This is not correct. It's actually going to be less than or equal to. I mean, look, I think this is right, but I think the signs are going to mess up because we don't save sign information. I should probably just hook that up right now. I'm not going to do that. I don't have the energy to do that. I've been streaming for an hour and a half. Whoa. All right, so we got to test all different levels of this. Save and load. The sign disappears. Which, like I said, I knew that was going to happen. We don't save any sign information. So that's slightly broken. I mean, not more broken than it was. But now what we're going to do is we're going to build one level of the enchanter and then save and load. And we end up with all 3 levels somehow. But what if it didn't do that? Add next crystal is failing. What's it saving the level as? Where's my save file? Library application support. Do I have this open already? No. All right, well, library, application support, Skeleseller, save data? Save? Yeah, here it is. Hey, Flawless. May not have any experience with this, but would you recommend a tier 1 and 2 IT tech learn coding? Already know the basics. Learned how to make a home security system in Python. It wasn't secure. So you just made a home system. But that was my most involved coding expedition. I do not know what this means. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I don't know if I could recommend this just based on not having any knowledge about this. Let me take a look. Tier 1 IT tech. Yeah, I can't find quick enough information on this. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Flawless. I can't really chime in on this. If you have something based on like coding specifically to ask me about, I could probably answer that, but I'm not familiar with I guess their certifications maybe. I'm not familiar with that. Hey, Dash. All right, so what are we saving for the level here? Level saved to 1. Wait, what? I had this backwards then. I thought level 0 is what? No, I guess you can't create something at level 0. Okay, but even if I do this, we're going to be off by 1. And I think the reason why is because in creating this, we set it to level 1 automatically. We can't do that anymore. All right, so town, create enchanter. Yeah, add next crystal. We can't do this. We need to do this only from the sign. So you're technically creating an enchanter at level 0. Yeah, this. That's what we have to do. That way loading works fine. Oh, wait. Oh, we could just delete this. Yeah. There. Now you always get a new crystal. Do you need an exclamation mark if you use one prior to this? I'm actually kind of surprised because this could null out the reference to this. Huh. Interesting. I guess you'd have to track your own side effects that way. Whether you add the exclamation mark or not, only tells the compiler you know what you're doing. Do you know any technicians who moved over to coding? Okay, let me say this. I don't know specifically that I know technicians who moved over to coding in the same sense that I don't know that I have a friend who's eaten, 10 different blue items today, but someone must have. Anyway, I have met people who have had all sorts of backgrounds. So if your question is really, should I learn coding? Then I think the answer is based on your personal, do you want to know coding? Do you feel it would get you a better job? Do you need it to do something in particular? And if the answer to any of those things is yes, then the answer is yes. Because I've met people who have had no degree, who've had English degrees, who've done boot camps, who've had PhDs in computer science. And it's very hard to tell that their formal education mattered or didn't matter in terms of whether they ended up being a good coder. So to be slightly clearer on that, I have met people who are bad coders, but I don't think it had anything to do with their education. I think they probably would have been bad coders regardless of their education. Or maybe, I don't know, whatever. I hope you get my general answer. Turns out the answer is yes, learn coding. Yeah. So that's pretty much what I'm saying. But it's based on whether you feel there's a need. Because I think some people maybe have, hard to say the wrong reason, but a reason that won't stay true for them for long enough. And I think typically that answer is money sometimes. Like, suppose you're making whatever, X dollars, and you want to be making X times something. I don't know why. You might not be motivated to stick with it. And it might feel kind of like you're sacrificing your happiness. Well, maybe you have to. Who knows? I think some people have circumstances where I'm not going to keep talking about this. I'm going to just keep rambling if I do. And I sense that my brain is losing its sharpness as I'm continuing to stream. So we hopefully have done this correctly. This we can undo for now. And I think the rest of this is working. So let's try it out. So we have this save file with what level? Level 1. So I'm going to load from this, and it should hopefully give us 1 crystal. Somehow, it did exactly the opposite of what I thought. What? Add next crystal, index was out of bounds. I am going to need to put a breakpoint here and see what's going on because I have no idea. I don't know how it could do that. Oh, I think we're probably not hiding all the crystals. No, we are. Okay, so we click build. Oh, no, that's not what I want to do. I want to click load. Current level should be set to 1. Yes, so we're going to call this once, right? Add next crystal. We're calling it multiple times. Oh, because every time we add a crystal, we are leveling up. Ah, so we want to do this and not even do that. And then it'll work. Although that still kind of raises the question of how did we end up without the first crystal? I don't have an answer to that. Yeah, that worked. Okay, so now when we build the next one, we have 2. We save the game. We load the game. We have 2 still. The sign's in the wrong place. I know about that. Then we click build again. We have the 3rd crystal. We hit save. We hit load. And yeah, we have another sign there. But if you just ignore that, then everything's fine. And does it work from building it up from scratch? Yeah. Okay, cool. So we tested all the different states. It does not beg the question, no. Begging the question is a logical fallacy. Actually, it's not a fallacy, I guess. It's a, it's this. An informal fallacy, excuse me. I just don't see a development through my organization because I'm general IT. If I do learn Java again, which I use extensively, I feel like they won't care and will just put more responsibilities on me. Maybe I should just apply everywhere. Yeah, I don't know about your specific company, but this has certainly happened to people in the past where they've learned coding and then there's no clear path to switching to a development job. And probably what you'd have to do at most companies is apply to those positions internally. And if the company's not large enough, they won't have a formal process for that. So I do think if you're going to learn coding and you love coding, that applying elsewhere is probably a good idea unless you absolutely love your current job / company, in which case talk to someone before you do any of this stuff and see if there is a path. What happens when you build a 4th crystal? I think it'll just error. So you're saying we save, we load, we click build on this. Can't even click the sign. But that can't be right. Oh, yeah, because it doesn't work. Because spawn dialogue in the enchanter sign can't do something. Ah, yeah, this. Yeah, so it doesn't let you build this. There are lots of people, by the way, there are these little mannerisms with speech that I notice and I try not to comment on unless I think the person is amenable to hearing it. So things like when people say, oh, that begs the question, and they do not mean that it is the informal fallacy of begging the question, or they say things like from whence they came, or they, I don't know, a whole bunch of other ones. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this person doesn't know any better. Irregardless, I don't ever hear. I only see it written. And after some amount of time, it's probably going to become a word. Takes a lot of social skills, especially at higher levels. Okay, I disagree. I don't think coding takes social skills. I think what a developer is expected to do at higher levels generally takes social skills. But the coding itself, I don't think ever really takes social skills. Code reviews, maybe. Pair programming, definitely. but the coding itself, I don't think so. Definitely an internal hiring process. I'll do some more courses and just apply and try. Yeah. And like I said, I would probably talk to someone ahead of time and just see like, hey, just, putting some feelers out there. Are you open to me learning this? Are you, would there be a role for me? Because they'd probably be happy to hear about that. And if there's some encouragement. By the way, you can't go wrong. If you're learning Java is not some obscure programming language, so you can always find another job after that. But yeah, hopefully it works internally. I wish you luck, Flawless. Used to work with the guy who said it all the time. Think you met with more seniority, you do less coding. TL I always had a ton of meetings. Yeah, I agree with that too. Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, I'm not trying to say like Loggerhead is wrong or their experience is wrong or something like that. I just think it's the development role that maybe takes more. And yeah, it sounds like we're in agreement. I think it's fine. I don't mean to sound pedantic. I mean to sound pedantic when I say the from whence thing. It's just whence, people. All right. Yeah. Looks like this is saving. I thought this was going to be super painful. So now we can finally gut all of the code that I had written here in skip tutorial. Yeah. Do we want to keep any of this? No. This part we probably should. Where do we have this? We have like show all remaining signs or something like that. Yeah, this. Let's just show the enchanter sign. Was this capitalized? Yeah. Hey, Apta. Good evening. Hey, so what does everyone treat themselves to when you go to the grocery store and you're like, I want a treat? What do you get? Hey, Mystical Cell. Because, man, something I just thought of as I said this. There are these M&M cookies. For whatever reason, M&M cookies are like 10 times better than chocolate chip cookies. And man, those things are amazing. There's a local grocery store that has them, and they charge like a stupid amount of money for them. It's like $9 for 12 cookies or something. And to make a batch of cookies does not cost $9. I would expect them to have them for cheaper. Chips and salsa are like Quest protein chips. Apple juice? Apple juice? Really? Wow. I would not have expected that as an answer. Maybe salty gummy bears? Ooh, sorry, that's the wrong answer. Gummy bears are provably worse than gummy worms. I don't have a worm emoji on my thing. I gotta get that. Yeah, sorry, Minkler. Gonna need to go back to the drawing board for that one. Maybe chips. Partner said ice cream. Huh, interesting. Treat for me almost entirely means sweet. Candy or Little Debbie snacks. What candy though? You have a bug report of the battle screen doesn't close completely. Green bar. Oh yeah. Are you on Windows on a 1x scale? Because that's the only place it reproed for people, I think. Pringles and hummus. I've never had a Pringle with hummus. Carrot sticks if I'm feeling healthy. Gummy worms are just great. They're just great. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, probably most of your issues are going to be known, Matt. So if you don't want to report any of them, it would be fine. In checkpoint 4, I'd like it if you could get back to reporting them. I'm probably going to have a public tracker at that point. But yeah, I heard quite a lot of issue reports, and I also knew a lot of these too. Reese's Pieces. I like Reese's peanut butter cups. I've never really liked the pieces too much. But Sour Patch Kids are good. Nerd gummies. Have I had these? I don't think I've had these. I've had nerds. They're just congealed around a sugary mass. Oh my God, it's like a sugar galaxy. They should have called them sugar galaxies. Oh, that's totally fine, Matt. And if that never happens, it's also fine. If you want to wait till checkpoint 4, that's good. I think there are going to be so many improvements in checkpoint number 4 that it's going to feel a little bit like a different game. Darkstorm just shared a video of some sound effects, and it's sounding decent. I mean, the sound effects were just for a couple of attacks and then like a cha-ching sound for selling things. I also have a sweet tooth. All of my teeth are sweet. So much sugar in them. I start getting hot and sweating after I eat them. Well, stick to Pringles and hummus then, I guess. Yeah, I wrote about this. I have a blog somewhere. I don't even know where it is. This, yeah. And the last post I made, which is in 2022, was about reducing sugar, which I will now paste everywhere. Hey, Family Goof. And the short story is that I spent an entire year reducing my sugar very slowly, and now I am at the point where it is just Wednesdays and Saturdays are sort of like free days, and the other days are 2 servings of fruit and just trying to cut down on sugar. Basically, it's like I don't look at the nutrition facts and see if my bread has sugar in it, for example. It's pretty much impossible to avoid in the US, but I don't seek out bread to have sugar, I guess. Harder to do sugar than like everything. Yeah. So it's not to try to get to 0 grams per day. It's to try to avoid the things I would seek out just for the sake of having sugar. So like a smoothie, cookies, cake, all that sort of thing. And I think it's been pretty good. It made me much more aware of the kinds of stuff I'm eating. Problem is caffeine. I think caffeine's hard to cut out because it's usually intertwined to a lot of rituals and it keeps you awake. And I gave up caffeine a while ago, and now my only recourse for being tired is to just sleep, which is not always possible. Okay, this is all looking good. Oh, I never wiped out the rest of that stuff, did I? No, I didn't. Yeah, I don't want any of this. So that to-do item is finally gone. Hooray! Allow for saving and loading the enchanter. I also finally got rid of the to-do item in town.cs. He no longer grant you a bunch of stuff for testing the enchanter. Did the signs show? Oh, that's what I had done. I hadn't tested that part. Okay, if that's working, then I think we're good. Pretty hard to kick. Nicotine being a stimulant, no? I think nicotine itself is hard to kick. And I remember, I think it was a decade ago now, I was working with a guy who switched to vaping from smoking and then said something like, or I think I asked him, like, oh, are you going to eventually cut out the vaping? He's like, why would I do that? He's like, I like nicotine. I just never thought of that as an answer. All right, cool. Yeah, nice. And we don't actually need the warehouse. We can enchant items from the ground. Just drag this over here, although it's really hard to grab. We need to fix that problem for sure. Used to drink multiple energy drinks are pretty bad for you, I think. Back when I was having caffeine and soda and whatever else, I would have energy drinks. And I just can't imagine those being good for me. All right, so try to address the issue where items stack on top of each other. Maybe you do push them a little bit when you move the mouse near them. Or maybe the portal area is just bigger. Can't have enchanting without being able to grab the item you want. Yeah. That's an addiction for life. Yeah. Yeah. It's rough too. It's like a lot of times you kind of wish you could go back to not having ever experienced something at all. And sometimes it's for something positive. Like, hey, I'd love to watch that movie again without ever having known what happens in it. And yeah, sometimes it's something like that where I wonder what my life would have been like if I hadn't gone down that path. Now, do you have caffeine? What's the replacement? No, I still don't have caffeine. There is no replacement. It's just get sleep when I need sleep. Generally, I don't. I think, okay, today's actually a pretty good example. Like, I feel like you have a brain operating power, and when you're sick, it goes down to like 20%. Today was one of those days where I just felt like I was at 80% for some reason, no obvious cause. Maybe my sleep quality was worse. And I did not mean to press whatever I pressed. And I think it impacted the productivity of today. Not so much so that I didn't get anything done. Yeah, this is working. I'm gonna look through this one more time. I just want to make sure we don't have anything I left in. I didn't mean to. Wow, I did not mean to press that button. Thank goodness it asked for confirmation. Do you want to delete all your code? No. All right, yeah, this is looking good. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. And I think with that, we have finished the final task in here. This isn't true. This isn't done. We need to fix that. Yeah, sure, Ryan. But that's going into another task. Say which ones are visible in town and make sure they're positioned at the right spots, especially the warehouse, vault, and enchanter, since those signs can move. Make sure they have the right text as well for those same buildings. 5 to 8 weeks for some new treatment. What was the treatment? Was it like a mental thing, something that your dad had to ingest? You know, it's a huge benefit from giving up caffeine. I was really affected by it in terms of not being able to sleep at night afterward. There are some people who can have coffee at like 10 p.m. and then go to sleep. I was not one of those people. So I could sleep, I could fall asleep a little bit more easily, I think. And I got jittery when I had caffeine. So I wasn't jittery again. But other than that, I don't really think so. Yeah. Really hard to say though, because this was a very long time ago. Like I said, it's 13, 14 years. No caffeine afternoon. My wife is the kind of person who can have caffeine like, yeah, 6, 7 p.m. Doesn't really seem to phase her. All right, is there anything else here? I'm not going to do this. Yeah, I'm not even going to write that I'm not going to do it. We're just not going to do it. Anything else? Anything else? Icon when you're going to overwrite. I think it's going to be clear enough now. Although I do like the idea. Backup slots, we're not going to do this. Yeah. Oh, then I think the task is done. Wow. Well, we got that done this week. We got the vault done at some point. When did we get the vault done? Coded the vault 9:30. That was, I want to say Monday. I don't remember. What day was September 30th? Was that last Friday? It was Monday. Yeah. So we got 2 different things done this week. Nuts. Finished the enchanter. Had to do 3 streams today just to get it done. Whoo. There's a pill in Spain, even the government's subsidizing it. Wow. Well, crazy that it worked. Also crazy that it was that short a time. Never kept you up, yeah. Huh. Wrecks your skin. Caffeine doesn't do anything, even energy drinks. Oh, wait, what did you say earlier about energy drinks? Okay, you've gotten better about this stuff. Yeah. It's all the AGM things that are going on. Sounds like that's the real health sink right there. All right, we have a bunch of cleanup work that I didn't do and should probably do, although we're not doing that now. I want to do a little bit of music stuff for a bit. So we're going to hard pivot here. Yeah. And let's also switch keyboards. Bloop. All right, what do we got? What instrument is that? There we go. Okay. want to see where we left off with this. I should probably, no. I was gonna say I'll change the title or something. I'm not gonna be streaming for too much longer. All right, let's listen to this in its entirety and see if I can add a few measures at least. Oh, by the way, volume level good? I want to see at least one thumbs up in chat or a thumbs down if it's bad. I'll play a little bit of it so you can actually hear it play out, but okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, that's all I have so far. So I want to work on this part. Something like that. What do I have here? That shouldn't be there. What is that doing there? Is this some vestige from earlier? Yeah, it is. Tried stopping and I had really bad withdrawal. I heard vitamin E helps with caffeine withdrawal. I don't know how true that is. And you have to be careful because it's fat soluble. So you can get too much, and I guess it's fatal if you get too much. Huh. I haven't heard of that. All right. Is that what this is supposed to be? Whoa. That scared me. I do not usually have my volume this loud. Hey, Juicebox Hero. And thanks for the raid. Oh, man. And hey, Leon. Or Leon. Leon? Let me know how to pronounce your name. How's it going? You're back to streaming? I am working on some music for Skeleseller. I want to show you some of the progress because I have done quite a lot. Welcome in, everybody. This music that I'm working on is for the game that I'm about to show you right now, which is Skeleseller. And I've been working on this since April. And we have quite a lot. So I'll show you the basic overview of the game, but then Juicebox here, I want to show you the new feature that I added. So you are building up a town in this game, and I'm going to hire an adventurer here. So let's hire this one. And then you send them into battle. And the battles are automated. This is a very laid back game. They get into a fight. You don't control the fight directly. And when they win, you get an item that you then sell in your shop. And with the money, you build more of your town and level up your adventures and stuff. So the thing that we added is this, the Enchanter's Den in the middle of the forest here. And when you build this, it gives you a crystal and a little pot in front of it. And you can take items and put them into that pot. And it'll light up this crystal, which will then slowly fade out, and it gives you an enchantment. So in this case, we have grant all adventurers +1 power for the entire battle. So now if we were to start another battle, we'll be stronger than we were. And you can get other crystals here, one for armor, which I think I deleted all the armor items. But let's give you a warehouse and do this and dragon armor. And then we also have, there's some dialogue problems there. We also have the weapon crystal. So yeah, this is now in the game. And if I were to repeat a battle over here, we have a little icon down here that shows you what your enchantments are. 3 streams a week, nice. So yeah, you took your very honest assessment and your inventory, I believe you called it, and coding hadn't fit in and streaming hadn't fit in, I believe. So now you're back to it. I know you said you liked your community and everything. I'm basically just recalling moments from our interview at this point. But I'm glad to hear you're back. I hope it is suiting you. You quit your job. Whoa. Why do you have a wrench next to your name then? I don't know. What if they just never remove it? Then you'll hear hide your memes every time you go on any channel. Are you fully done or did you just give your notice? All right, this is now a Juicebox Hero stream. Everybody shut up. We gotta find out. We gotta get to the bottom of this. Last day was October 1st. Wow, so very recent. Also not a Friday, unusual. But cool. Wow. I guess your fearless inventory might have included that and maybe you just didn't want to say it back then, or is this total news even to you? Are you nervous at all? Is there any trepidation around this? I'm gonna ask you so many questions that there's no way you can answer them all. I will say this, when I quit Google, I felt a little bit of an identity crisis because I felt like I'd been working in a well-known structure for 3 years. And then even though it was my choice to leave and I wanted to leave and I loved what I was doing, I felt like, oh God, did I make a mistake? And a lot of, maybe not a lot of people, but enough people kind of apply the pressure of, why are you doing that? Like, were things not good enough at Twitch? Did you not like it? Did you know? Yeah. So I fully support you. Saved up a ton of runway, planned an exit. Yeah. Awesome. Well, great. Want to go into the nonprofit space? Makes sense. I still have my calendar reminder for 1 year from our interview was to say, ask about what the solution is to the problems. So I will be reaching out to you at some point if I don't hear about them sooner. Yeah, so anyway, what we were doing right as the raid started was working on music for this. So we have a couple of themes. Actually, one's in the game already. I didn't play this one, but yeah, one's in the game already. And this is just gonna be another town theme that plays as you're managing the town. And we are working on this right now. So I was gonna add in the next part. Let me think about that. Yeah, I kind of like that. Okay, so how are we going to type this in? Let's drag this over to here and then get it to be the right notes. C and B flat. C and we have 3 notes there. Delete that. And then E flat and A flat. So drop you down, and you go down. Okay. Yeah, cool. Oh, take care, Juice Fox Hero. Yeah. And thanks for the raid. Thanks for dropping in. I'll see you again, of course. Have a good weekend. All right. I don't know where I want to go from there. C sharp major 7, B flat minor 7. After that, that's silly. Hey Dan. I don't know about talented composer. I come up with little things on the piano and then try to translate them to here, and it takes me forever. But yeah. All right, so I want that. All right, how's that? Why are those louder? No, 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 not that, not that, not that, not that. That. There. Okay, we're losing another instrument, which is why it sounds thin right now, because this is new ground. So yeah, that right there. Good. Okay, so that's one measure. Now we go up to B flat 7, which maybe we want to drop down for this. I don't actually know. Let's see. No, we can just go up a little bit. All right, but this one is going to be a different rhythm in the left hand part of this. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and yeah, perfect. Okay, so D and B flat, F and A flat. D. And then that particular note should be a little louder. And the surrounding ones probably a little quieter. Okay. That is not the right note at all. It's going to overlap weirdly. We need this to be on F. Okay, so now B flat and yeah, perfect. Okay, how's that? Yeah, good, but this should be sustained a little bit. We'll probably get rid of this too. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Yeah, I want these to be louder. Do, 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 do. Perfect. Yeah, I don't want to forget this stuff because it's only in my head right now. I haven't written this down. So we'll go back to this rhythm. So still D and B flat. So let's delete all of this. Whoops. What am I doing? Let's get this somewhat back to normal. Yeah, there. All right. So delete this. Put this back in. Oh, this isn't going to work. E flat G. E flat G. Okay, now actually take all of them down. And delete this and put that there and there and there. These go up to there. Okay, I think it should be good. What? Oh, there's an instrument that's left over. Like, where's that sound coming from? All right, what do we got? Where should this be? We are currently on the F. That is an F. Good. Yeah, so this up to here, down to here, up to here, down to here, drop down 1. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, cool. Okay, let's get the rest of this. Yeah, so this is still C and B flat. No, it's still. It's different. Put this over here. C. Oops. God, it's annoying when I do that. E flat and A flat. Yeah. All right, so what do we have? We can do the same thing we did over here, at least for now. I don't know about that. Delete that, extend that. Can you add a note to your selection? I don't know how to do that. It's almost certainly possible. And yet, no, it's not that. I don't know. Well, whatever. Increase that one, and increase that one. Okay. What's this? Then we go to what if I have sustain on this? Really hard to play with my pinky. There's a sustain key here. I want this over here. Okay. This drops down to here. C sharp. It's basically a B flat minor 7 first inversion. Yeah. So drop this down 1. Keep that where it is. Uh-oh, I pressed the key. What did I press? I don't know what I just did. Oh God. What did I do? I think I pressed K. No, what does K do? Oh, it looks like it's going up, so that means J probably goes down. Wow, I didn't know that. Cool. Or maybe I did know that. There's like a million hotkeys in FL Studio, and it's impossible to keep track of them all. All right. There. Yeah, except for anytime I do this, I should probably extend this one too. All right, how's that sound? Yeah, and then it sounds so much better when I'm playing it. Why is that? Because I'm holding this note? Yeah, I think so. Maybe extend that to there. Maybe it's just more legato that way. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm going to extend these anyway. And then finally, we get down to the C7. And then I'm gonna need to do something else because I don't like where it's going right now, but let's see. This is literally just a C7, so there, and there. Perfect. Okay, save this. Uh-oh, that is not good. Device testeroni not found. Definitely something I made. What? Did I have this and delete it? It's right there. Why is it not found? Reload. Oh no, it says in it. Okay. Oh, found. Oh, maybe it said found always. I don't know how I even did that though. Oh, there must be some script view and I must have had some other key pressed. How do you open up the script view? I don't even know. Yeah, I'm not going to try to figure this out. Okay, so we don't know what's going on with the other instruments now. So here's what we've got leading into this. I like the idea of an instrument cutting out, but I think it has to have something going into the new measure there. Do, 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 and that would end on an F. Well, it could end on an A flat. Hey, Ski. Whoops. Yeah, I have an idea for what we could do here, but let me just kind of play and see what happens. I don't know, let's see. Going and repeating without me. I don't even know if that sounded good. I'll have to put some thought into that. Also, we can bring this instrument back. God, I love this sound. I think this is so cool. So cool. All right, so we lost the drums. We lost this thing. And we're slowly losing this soft touch thing. I just realized, why are you up, Ski? Isn't it late? I see. chords. Kind of want to have this on while I hear how this could sound over here. Hey, Krasner. Yeah, you're correct. Although she's been out of town before and I haven't really streamed, I want to get a lot of stuff done for checkpoint number 4. I feel like it should be a monumental shift in how the feedback has been. But I'm putting pretty high expectations on that. I'm pretty happy with the progress so far. I mean, we're up to what? A minute and 20 something seconds. It took me way more hours to get to this point in the other one. Although this is less intense than the other one. Okay. Yeah. All right. It is late for me. It was late for me when I started, but I have now streamed for how long today? 8 hours and 20 minutes, and I took no breaks for any of that stream time. The only breaks I took were in between the streams. I don't think I've ever streamed for that long in a single day. And yeah, it's a pretty good day. I also worked on some music, I guess I could say. Did some music too. Yeah, wow. Well, I'm a happy camper. I'm going to see if I can raid someone that I can never raid because I'm never on this late. And he is online. We're finally going to get to do it. All right, Redbeard. Arena streamer extraordinaire in Hearthstone. Why is this happening? Streams are black for me. I can't actually tune into people's... What's going on? This happened when I was trying to raid Tina as well. It just didn't show the stream. Okay, well, whatever. Anyway, I've been watching Redbeard for like a year and a half on YouTube. And I've watched, I think, exactly once on Twitch because he's just always on late. He's in the same time zone as me, but he streams like graveyard shift. So I want you all to give a nice welcome hello and maybe type, if you're a sub, a skeleton emote. Let's go raid him. And I'll be back probably on Monday. I don't think I'm going to stream this weekend. And if I do, then I guess just pay attention to Discord. I'll skeller him, then head straight to bed. Yeah. Also, yeah, I see viewership is much lower than it is normally during the day. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you have a good weekend. I'll be back on Monday, and we'll just keep working through all the features we have for Checkpoint 4.